Hello everyone, my name is Pratik Gorgate and my sector analysis topic is banking sector and my guide is Dr. Vaishali Rahate ma'am. Introduction to the banking sector. Banking is defined as the activity defining and safeguarding money owned by the other individuals and entities and then lending out this money in order to conduct economic activities such as making profit or simply covering operating expenses. It is one of the important financial pillars of the financial sector which plays a vital role in the functioning of a company. After the liberalization of the Indian economy, the government has announced a number of reform measures on the basis of the recommendation of the Narasimha Committee to make the banking sector economically viable and competitively strong. It is very important for economic development of a country that its financing requirements of trade, industry and agriculture are met with higher degree of commitment and responsibility. Thus, the development of a country is integrally linked with the development of banking. After the liberalization of the Indian economy, the government has announced a number of reforms measures on the basis of the recommendation of the Narasimhan Committee to make the banking sector economically viable and competitively strong. The current global crisis that hit every country raised various issues regarding efficiency and solvency of banking system in front of policy makers. Now crisis has been almost over. Government of India and Reserve Bank of India are trying to draw some lessons. RBI is making necessary changes in its policy to ensure price stability in the economy. Introduction to the company. Bank of India. Bank of India is the commercial bank with headquarters in Mumbai, Maharashtra, India, founded in 1906. It has been government owned since nationalization in 1969. Bank of India is a founder member of SWIFT, Society of Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunications, which which facilitates the provision of cost-effective financial processing and communication services. Bank of India was founded on 7 September 1906 by a group of eminent businessmen from Mumbai. The bank was under private ownership and control till July 1969 when it was nationalized along with 13 other banks. Beginning with one office in Mumbai with a paid up capital of rupees 50 lakh and 50 employees, the bank has made a rapid growth over the years and blossomed into a mighty institution with a strong national presence and sizable international operations in business volumes. The bank occupies a premier position among the nationalized banks. Currently, in 2020, the bank has 5,100 branches in India spread over all states, union territories, including specialized branch. Presently, bank has the overseas presence in 22 foreign countries. 22 spread over 5 countries with 60 offices including 5 subsidiaries and 5 representative office and 1 joint venture at key banking and financial centers which Tokyo, Singapore, Hong Kong, London, Jersey, Paris and New York. Strength of the company. Company with high TTM EPS growth, efficiency in managing assets to generate profit, ROA improving since last 2 years, annual net profit improving for last 2 years, effectively using shareholders fund, return on equity improving since last 2 years. Growth in quarterly net profit with increasing profit margin. Weakness of the company. Red flag, high interest payments compared to earnings. MFs decreased their shareholding last quarter. Decline in net profit with falling profit margins. Decline, decline, Declining net cash flow, companies not able to generate net cash. Book value per share deteriorating for last 2 years. Opportunities for the company. Rising delivery percentage compared to previous day and month storage volumes. Positive breakout first resistance. Decrease in NPA in current result. Stocks with low PE. Challenges for the company. Asset quality. The biggest risk to India's bank is the rise in bad loans. The slowdown in the company in the last few years led to a rise bad loans or non-performing assets. These are loans which are not repaid back by the borrowers. They are thus a loss for the bank. Net NPA amounts to only 2.36% of the total loans in the banking system. Capital adequacy. One way a bank tries to ensure it is protected from bad loans is by setting aside money as a provision. This money cannot be used for any other purpose including lending. As a result, banks have lower capitals available to use for its various operations. The capital adequacy ratio measures how much capital bank has. When this falls, the bank has to borrow money to use deposits. Unchanged forex exposure. The wild gyration in the forex market have the potential to inflict significant stress in the books of Indian companies who have heavily borrowed abroad. Mundra said in his speech, this stress can affect their ability to pay back debt to Indian banks. As a result, the RBI wants banks to ensure companies they lend to do not expose themselves to unnecessary debt in dollars. Employee and technology. Public sector banks are seeing more employees retire these days. So younger employees are replacing the elder, more experienced employees. This, however, happens at the junior levels. As a result, there would be a virtual vacuum at the middle and senior level. The absence of middle management could lead to adverse impact on banks' decision making process as this segment of offers played a critical role in translating the top management strategy into workable action plan. The deputy governor said, moreover, banks, especially government-owned banks, need to embrace technology to offer better products. This will also help make banks more efficient. Balance sheet management. In the past few years, many banks have tried to delay setting aside money as a provision. One reason for this is that a bank's chief executive have a short tenure during which time they want to post higher net profits and cheer investors. It must be appreciated that CEOs, CMDs would come and go, but institutions are perpetual entities. Thank you.